Welcome back to Wellness Wednesdays. I am Dr. Don with New Smyrna Spine and Injury Center, and today we are going to cover what to do if you are ever in a car accident. So chances are sometime in your life, you will be involved in a car accident. Whether it's a very minor fender bender where nobody gets injured, or a severe crash where there's lots of damage and we have to take care of a lot of people. So chances are the odds are not in your favor that you will escape without being involved in one. So what do you do? How do you protect yourself? And how do you get yourself fixed up if you are injured during a car accident? So first and foremost, what to do in case of a car accident. The first thing we need to do is we need to stop. You must stop your vehicle after an accident. Don't drive away, don't continue driving, just stop where it's at. Step number one, we must stop. So step number two is we must assist any injured person. So check to see everybody involved in the accident, if anybody is severely injured, whether they're bleeding, if they're unconscious, if they have broken bones, anything that you can visibly see that's life or death situation, or would be considered an emergency situation. You assist them as best as you can, but at this point here, we also want to call 911. If there are any injured people, get the ambulance on the way, get paramedics on the way as fast as possible. So step number three is we are going to secure it's known as the scene or the accident. So what we want to make sure is that we want to protect any of the drivers. We want to protect ourselves. We want to protect the people that are traversing or utilizing the roadways. We want to set signal flares if we have them, if they're late at night. Lights, the same thing. If we can get the vehicles off the roadway into, say, on the side of the road or into a parking lot that's nearby, we want to do that to help protect both ourselves as well as everybody else driving on the road. We don't want to cause another accident because we're sitting there on the side, in the middle of a lane when the vehicles could be moved. If they can't be moved, then we want to make sure that we set up flags. We want to set up flares if we have them. We just want to make sure that we don't cause another accident while we're there. Now at this point here, if we did not call 911 already, our next step, number 4, is to call an officer, the police, the sheriff's department, the highway patrol. Essentially, we're going to call 911. We'll just put that one down there now. We're going to call 911. We want the police to make sure that they come, make sure everything is documented, make sure it's all set and done. So we want to make sure that we call an officer at this point. Some states require that you call the police. Other states don't. Some states have a dollar value of damage to the vehicle. $600, $1,000 worth of damage to any of the vehicles require a police report. Every state law is a little different. So very, very smart though is to call the police, the sheriff's department, the highway patrol, whatever your locale would be, and have them come out and do an investigation and document the actual accident. So the next step that we're going to work on after we've called for the police, if somebody already has not done that, is we are going to document the accident that we see. So we're going to take pics. We're going to take pictures. We're going to write down what happened. We're going to note any witnesses, any passengers in the vehicles. We're going to make sure that we document everything that happened from our point of view with pictures. That way we protect ourselves and we protect anything that may, down the road, you never know. We just want to make sure that we document everything for our records just to protect ourselves. So we make sure we document everything at this point. So once the police actually show up, if they show up while you're documenting the accident or shortly thereafter, you want to assist the police. Make sure you give them your information. Make sure if you need to move the vehicles if you haven't yet. Just give them some assistance. Don't get in their way. Don't admit to anything either. That's any attorney will tell you. Don't admit to anything. But just assist the police. Make sure you have your copy of your driver's license, your insurance card, your registration, the basics. So now finally, you've gone through this process. It's very nerve-wracking. It's very scary. Adrenaline is going through the roof. Other hormones like cortisol, stress hormones, are all going nuts. And for a lot of people, we have a lot of injuries that occur that don't visibly show up out front. And honestly, for some people, this entire thing that you just listened to, that we've just talked about, will go completely out the window. And you'll forget all of this. There's lots of case in points. Case in point is Don. It can tell you when he got in his accident. After the accident, he had almost completely forgot all of the steps to go through this. And we go over this with all of our new patients. We make sure that you understand this because this is very important. It protects you. And even he had a complete lapse of what to do. And luckily he called me. I walked him through what to do. And we got him situated. We got everything taken care of. But it was a complete and utter just shock to the system, and the brain goes into survival mode, and sometimes you just forget what to do. So once we get through this and the police, and you're allowed to leave, and everything's taken care of, and you're getting ready to go, what is the next step? Well, the next step, since you are still here and it's not a life or death injury to you or anybody in your persons or in your car, is you're going to call us. So you're going to call Dr. Don. And the reason for that is we are going to go through and we're going to do a very thorough examination, history taking, orthopedic, neurological exam. If we need to order any tests, we're going to do that at that time. X-rays, MRIs, CT scans. So in the last thing that you're going to do, I shouldn't say the last thing, but the next thing you're going to do is you're going to call us, you're going to call me. We're going to get you scheduled in, we're going to go through. And the reason why you want to do this as soon as possible is because a lot of injuries do not present themselves with immediate pain. And if that pain lingers or the pain takes a long time to show, no, let's stop that. I liked what I was going with first. So finally, at number 7, what you're going to do, once you're free to leave, and you're able to get home, you don't even have to wait till you get home, is you're going to want to call us in the office. You're going to call me, Dr. Don, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go through a history. We're going to do a very thorough examination. We're going to include orthopedic testing, neurological testing, range of motion, muscle testing, sensory, balance. We're going to check everything that we can to make sure that you are okay, that there is no hidden injuries. And if there are injuries or if there are things that we need to do, such as testing, MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, nerve tests, whatever we need to do, we will make sure that we need to do whatever you need to have done to find out what injuries you have so that you can be treated appropriately and in a timely manner. The sooner you get treated, the faster these injuries go away and the faster you get back to your normal life. You're going to give us a call. There's another reason you're going to give us a call, especially if you live in the state of Florida. There is something in the state of Florida, let's get this, and we're going to talk about this real fast. There's something currently in the state of Florida called the 14-day rule for car accidents. So what the 14-day rule is, in Florida, if you have car insurance, which you're supposed to have, and you get in an accident, you have an insurance on your policy on your car called the Personal Injury Protection Policy. And that is an insurance, in case you get in an accident, it gives you medical care, medical insurance, no matter who is at fault. And the minimum purchasable amount in the state of Florida is $10,000. So you have $10,000 available for medical care. You can purchase more, that's usually in the form of MedPay or uninsured and underinsured motorists. But everybody who has car insurance in Florida has $10,000 in policy. But if you were in a car accident and you wait more than 14 days, so if you wait 15 days, if you wait one more day than 14, so you're at day 15 and you're like, my neck is killing me, it's not getting any better, I'm just going to go see Dr. Don, I'm going to go to the ER, I'm going to go wherever, and you've waited 14 days, I should say you've waited 15 days. What the law states is that you, because you waited 15 days, you've forfeited, you've given up your rights to that insurance policy that you've purchased to cover you in case of this accident. So on that 14-day rule, you can see any number of providers. You can see a medical doctor, so you can see a chiropractor, a medical doctor, a doctor of osteopathy, a PA, a nurse practitioner, a dentist, or a dental surgeon, or an ophthalmologist, an eye doctor. So you can see any one of us to start the process that opens up your, we call it opening up your PIP policy. It allows you to utilize the actual $10,000 that you've used to get the care you need. If you wait day 15 though, you give up with that. So we want to make sure that you do not delay, you get treated, you get seen, you get examined, whatever we need to do or whatever you actually need to have done, you get started as soon as possible. We don't want to delay. Other things is the longer you wait to start care, the more likely you are to develop what are known as chronic pain symptoms. The longer you wait to seek care from an injury, the more likely you are to develop chronic pain symptoms. We don't want that. We don't want you in pain to begin with. We don't want you to be having to say, you just have to learn to live with this. We don't want that. We want you to go through the process. Now, the 14-day rule is new. It's 8 to 10 years old at this point in Florida. But I can tell you this, though. This isn't a whole lot of fun. Waiting to be seen appropriately is not a whole lot of fun. Not knowing how to get the care you need is not a whole lot of fun. Especially when you are injured, and especially when that pain kind of persists and is nagging and is debilitating and it's stopping you from enjoying your life. So we want to make sure that you get seen, whether it's with me or a medical doctor or another chiropractor, prefer it me, but as long as you get seen in the 14 days and you get the appropriate examination, the appropriate testing, and you start the appropriate type of care for your injury and your condition, that's all that matters. But you have 14 days to trigger that. So remember, we're going to go right back through these really, really fast. The last ones to do in case of an accident. What do you got to do? So let's go through these one last time really, really fast. We'll make them short. First, we need to stop. Stop the car. If you can, get it out of the roadway. Otherwise, just stop it. Don't drive off. Number 2, check any injured person. So we want to make sure that there's nobody there that has a life or death situation. If they are, we want to call 911 right away and get that started, get the ambulance out, get the paramedics out right away. Next, we're going to protect the scene. So we're going to lay out any hazard lights, any flares that we have if we need to. We're going to get the car out of the road, get them, if they're movable, if they're drivable, get them off the road, get them out of the roadway. We're going to protect the roadway so we don't cause another accident. We don't get hit by a car, which would be even worse. We just want to make sure that everybody is safe and protected. Then we're going to call 911. We're going to call the police, the sheriff's department, whoever's in charge of that area. We're going to get them to come out, and we're going to make sure that everything is documented properly. Next is we're going to document our own accident. We're going to take our pictures. We're going to get witnesses, and we're going to outline or diagram the actual accident. We want to make sure that we document it as well and not just rely on the police to do that practice. Okay, so now all of this is done. The officer shows up or officers show up to the accident scene. We're going to assist the officer as much as we can without admitting anything, without only giving them the details of the accident, not admitting to anything. But we're going to assist them. If they ask us to move the vehicle, we're going to give them their license, registration, just being very courteous of what's going on, but we're going to assist them. And then finally, when it's time to leave, when we're able to leave, we're going to leave and we're going to call Dr. Don to get checked, to get examined, to make sure that there is no underlying issue or injury. If there are, we will address that appropriately. And then finally, we also need to make sure that we contact our insurance to open a injury claim. And then remember, we have a 14-day rule to be seen for the injuries. Okay guys, so 8 steps to what to do in case you're involved in a car accident. If you are and you still have a problem, you forget, which is very common, if you forget what to do, please just call us. We will more than willing and more than happy to help walk you through what you need to do in each step to make sure that you protect yourself as well as you get the care that you need. Remember, you have 14 days in case of an accident to be seen by a doctor before you give up, you forfeit your rights for that. If you have any comments, any questions, share this video, comments below, make sure you give a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have lots more information coming to you guys, so stay tuned for the next video.